To really get David Fincher, we first need to talk about where the idea of the auteur even comes from. Back in the 1940s and 50s, a group of French critics argued that the director should be the true author of a film, rather than treating a movie as just a commercial product made by a big studio. They specifically pointed to legendary filmmakers like Alfred Hitchcock to prove their point, arguing that a director should use the camera the same way a novelist uses a pen. This theory suggests that when a filmmaker has enough artistic control, their entire body of work starts to share the same themes and techniques. It's exactly the reason why we can watch a movie and know who the director is. Fincher's path to becoming an auteur is pretty unique, because unlike many of his peers, he didn't go through the standard film school route. He actually grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area and got his start at Industrial Light and Magic, working on massive visual effects like Star Wars Episode 6: Return of the Jedi. That background is a huge part of why he's so technically precise today. He spent years directing iconic music videos like Madonna's Vogue and 9 Inch Nails Only, alongside sleek commercials for major brands like Nike. You can see that influence in his work today. He has an analytical perspective that likely comes from years of needing to make every single frame count. You can see David Fincher's status as an auteur most clearly in how he runs his sets. He is famous for being incredibly meticulous, often demanding dozens and dozens of takes for a single shot, such as forcing the actors through 38 grueling takes for a single bar scene in Fight Club. While it could seem intense to some, it's his way of having total artistic control over the performance and environment. To maintain this uncompromising execution, he builds long-term creative partnerships, routinely working with the same key collaborators like cinematographer Jeff Cronenweth, sound designer Ren Kleiss, and film editor Angus Wall. He isn't just there to manage actors, he's there to make sure that every detail in his films support his vision. There's a very specific visual language that connects Fincher's films. Across Seven, Fight Club, and Zodiac, you'll notice he leans into a very moody, low-key lighting style, where characters are partially lost in shadow. He also uses a very distinct color palette that sets him apart from other directors. Sickly greens, deep blues, and muted yellows that make his worlds feel heavy and, in a way, decaying. His camera work is another giveaway. He prefers smooth, locked-in tracking shots that feel very mechanical, as opposed to shaky, handheld camera. A handheld camera is used to create random human energy. For example, in the final scene of Seven, showing raw human emotion. But Fincher uses precise, omniscient movement, like the eerie, smooth overhead shots tracking cars in Zodiac, to pull the viewers directly into the film's world. Beyond the way his movies look, David Fincher is obsessed with the darker side of human nature. Most of his films revolve around characters who are trapped by their own issues or fixations. In Seven, it is the hunt for a killer motivated by the 7 deadly sins. In Zodiac, it's the obsession with a real unsolved mystery. And in Fight Club, it's the desperate search for one's identity in a world controlled by consumerism. This deep-seated interest in obsession and social decay connects directly to Fincher's own worldview as a filmmaker. Fincher is a self-proclaimed cynic who views human beings as inherently flawed, isolated, and easily corrupted by modern society. For him, filmmaking is a psychological dive into the friction between human compulsion and institutional breakdown. These recurring themes connect his focused films into one cohesive body of work, proving that he has a consistent personal vision that he successfully brings into every one of his projects.